I welcome all of you to this video on conversation practice to improve your English. Here we have three small pieces of conversation. The first one is a wrong number. The second one is railway inquiry. And the third one is at the airport. Please watch the entire video so that you get the benefit of all these conversations. They are very small. Now, what I would recommend is that this video can be used for all levels of learners. For the beginners, it is enough to listen, to read, because I'm going to show it to you on your screen. Listen and read and speak them aloud. That is for the beginner's level. For the intermediate level, you can look at the conversation on the screen carefully and try to think whether there is any other way to do this. I will ask you some questions also. Then you will know whether you are benefiting or not. For the advanced level, what I recommend is that you put similar pieces of conversation in a more difficult structure and a more difficult vocabulary. Give additional information about all this. Suppose it is a wrong number, or suppose it's a railway inquiry, suppose it is at the airport. Then what all can you add to this? I have given you just a few sentences. You can make it long. In this way, you practice your English. Both for the intermediate and advanced level, these videos are for improving the correctness of your language. Many of you use English, but you make mistakes in the use of English. You use it fluently, but you don't use it correctly. So for you, that is beneficial. And for the beginners, it is really, really beneficial because you are getting to see, listen, read, speak all from a single video. The video gives you a context, so you know newer words, you know more difficult words. If any word is difficult for you, then you must stop there and try to improve your English by checking that word and using it 10 or 20 times that day. If you do this to a few words every day, you will find that your English becomes better. Conversation, as you know, is an exchange between two or more people. In real life, we are all the time faced with situations where we have to carry out a conversation. Unless we know how to respond, the conversation never goes forward. Unless we know how to ask questions or how to show interest or how to respond when a question is asked, we will never be able to take our conversation forward. That is why you have to remember that by practicing these simple conversations, you get a lot of benefit. Many of you are asking in comments about lessons which have already been done. That is why I keep repeating myself by saying, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it already. But if you have subscribed, that is not enough. Search in the list. The videos are more than 150 now. And if you search, you will find what you are looking for. Then you don't have to ask me in the comment box, because for me to answer all those comments takes a lot of time. There are many videos on conversation already. Starting from right in the beginning, 6 months back, there are beginners conversation, 3 videos, mid-level conversation, 2 videos, advanced conversation, 1 video. If you watch those videos, after watching today's video, if you go back to that and you watch it, It'll be beneficial. You will also find playlists and podcasts saying English conversation. You watch that, you will find all these videos in one place. Because most of the messages I get are messages for conversation practice. That is why I want to make many videos on conversation practice. I'm giving you simple contexts which you can use because these things happen in real life. If you use these, you will get a lot of benefit. Therefore, let us move on to the first of our conversations, and that is wrong number. After that, I will ask you a few questions and then you have to give the answers, and as earlier also you've done, you must tell me what is your score. Many of you are telling me the score, so those of you who are watching now, please watch carefully and tell me the score. Conversation title: Wrong number. Hello, may I speak with Bunny? The response: Bunny who? There is no one called Bunny at this number. The caller: Oh, isn't this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9? Sorry, you have the wrong number. This is 1, 3, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I am sorry. I don't know how I dialed the wrong number. That's all right. Mistakes happen. You are very kind. I'm grateful. Thank you. I hope you watched and enjoyed the conversation wrong number. There are two people, one person who dials the wrong number and the other person the receiver. You have seen how they interact with each other. You might have faced a wrong number situation in your life at least once, if not more than once, sometimes many times. Either you have dialed the wrong number or you have received a phone which is, a person who's asking for someone who is not available with you. Here I have 7 questions. 4 of these questions are on the structure of the sentences. Now, when we want to learn a language, we must be able to say the same thing in a few different ways. Unless we can do that, our English is not progressing. So I'm giving you practice in everything. I've given you practice in spelling, etc. in the earlier conversations. Also, factual questions. So 3 of the questions here are also factual questions. And one of them out of the 3 is what we call inference question. Inference means it is not given in the passage, but you have to understand what is not said in the passage. You have to observe carefully and understand. That is also there. Now let us begin with our questions. The first one is, may I speak with Bunny? That is the sentence you saw. May I speak with Bunny? That is the question which was asked by the person who makes the call. Then we want to change this sentence. Start with I would. Instead of saying may I speak with Bunny, you have to start the sentence with I would and then end the sentence with Bunny. I would, at the beginning of the sentence, some things you have to fill in and then you have to say Bunny and question mark. Here you don't have to put the question mark which is there. May I speak with Bunny? Question mark. Here I would and bunny full stop. So now you have to think what is to be written. If you have already thought of it, if you've already written it, let me give you the answer. The answer is, I would like to speak with Bunny. Instead of saying, may I, you are saying, I would like to speak with Bunny. Or I would like to speak to Bunny. To and with have slightly different meanings. When two people are speaking, we say with. When only one person is talking, then we say to. This usage is there. Now we come to the next one. If you've got it right, please give yourself 1 mark. You have the wrong number. That in the passage you saw a sentence which said, you have the wrong number. Now start the sentence with, this is not, and then end of the sentence, number. This is not, some words, and then number. I'm sure you're able to think of it quickly. It is, this is not the right number. Instead of wrong number, here we are using right number. This is not the right number. This is not the correct number. Or if you don't want to end the sentence with number, you can say, this is not the number you want. Or this is not the number you should have called. This is not the number you should have dialed. See how many possibilities are there with a single sentence? Now, the next one, number 3. I don't know how I dialed the wrong number. The person who made the mistake is saying, I don't know how I dialed the wrong number. Now you have to change this sentence by saying, I must have, and you end with wrong number. I must have and wrong number. So you have to supply a word or two. If you have thought of the answer, then I'll give it to you. I must have dialed the wrong number. I must have dialed the wrong number. That is what, I don't know how I dialed the wrong number. Same meaning, I must have dialed the wrong number. This was number 3. I hope you are marking yourself. Don't worry if you get it wrong. You can always practice it by watching the video again and again. Then we come to the last of them. That's all right, mistakes happen. That's all right, mistakes happen. Start with don't worry and end with mistakes. Don't worry and end with mistakes. So, I'll give you the answer. Don't worry, we all make mistakes. Or you can say, it is quite possible that you made a mistake. You make the sentence longer. That also is possible. So approximately, if you have got the correct sentence, then you can give yourself full marks, 1. Now we move on to the 3 questions, which are questions about the understanding of the passage. Name the person whom the caller wants to speak with. The person who calls is the caller. The caller wants to speak with somebody. What is the person's name? I'm sure all of you remember. If you have been watching carefully, the name is Bunny. So the caller wants to speak with Bunny. Bunny. If you just write Bunny or if you write the full sentence, you can give yourself full marks. Now, what mistake was there in the dialing? What mistake was there in the number which was dialed? If you are, very attentive, you will remember that the person dialed 123 instead of dialing 132. So 3 and 2 got inverted. That is the mistake. Now, as I told you, the last question is an inference question. Why do you think the receiver of the call is a nice person? I'm sure all of you think the person is a nice person. Why do you think that? The answer here is because he speaks so politely. He does not get angry. He does not shout at the person because that person has made a wrong number. Let us now move on to the next conversation. Conversation titled Railway Enquiry. The passenger asks, "Hello, is this the number of railway enquiry?" The railway assistant replies, "That's right, sir. How may I help you today?" "I wanted to know whether the superfast express is coming on time." The railway person says, "Give me a moment while I check this." "I'm sorry, sir. The train will arrive half an hour late today. There has been a derailment in one of the places en route." Passenger, "Well, that's too bad. I hope the train will not get further delayed." Assistants, "I don't think so, sir. We usually give priority to the superfast express." I'm sure this must also be a situation which you have faced some time or the other, trying to find out if a train is coming on time or not. Or if you work in the railways, then maybe you are the person whom everybody asks whether the train is coming on time or not. There are certain words here which you might have found difficult. If you have found the word difficult, you should do two things. One is you should know its meaning and use it many times. Also, you should know its spelling because for learners who are at the mid or advanced level, writing also is important. Many of you are asking me to do videos on writing. I'll do it sooner or later. Now, we have some words which I will first ask and of course give you answers myself, and then you will also make sentences with them which I'm not going to devote time to because the span of the video is short and we cannot do everything in the video. I will leave a lot of things to be done by you for your homework. The first word is enquiry. Railway enquiry. Railway is, a train. Train which goes, the company is the railway. So enquiry is a place where you go to ask questions. The verb is enquire. Enquire is the verb to ask a question. And enquiry is the noun form where it is a place where you ask questions. So railway enquiry is possibly a phone number or a counter. If you go to the railway station, it is written railway enquiry. Then you can ask questions. Or they might say information desk. These days that's a popular term. So that is the meaning of the word enquiry. E-N-Q-U-I-R-Y. Spelling is also important. Then you have a word derailment. Derailment. The train runs on tracks. You might have seen, two lines going parallel to each other. So when the train slips from that, we call it a derailment. Derail. Rail is those two strips, and D means away from it. So derailment. That is what the reason is for the delay. So derailment when the train comes out of its track. Then we have another word, and that is priority. Priority. Priority is importance. To give importance, to place it first. So if you have something as priority, that means that is the most important thing. If you are making a list of things you have to do today, then the top one which you have put on first, which is most important, we say top priority. That means it is very important. It is something which you need to do first. That is the meaning of priority. Then will it be further delayed? Further. Further is time, it's distant in time. So the meaning is more. Further delayed means will it be more delayed? Delayed is to become late. Delay, Delay. To get late, that is what the word delay means. And then we have the word en route. ENROUTE. The Indian version is en route and the American one is en route. You can get all the pronunciations. If you search in Google, you will find ENROUTE. That means on the way. Somewhere between the place it started and the place it is supposed to end, somewhere in the middle, that is en route. Then we have some questions, which are factual questions. These are not questions about words or spellings or meanings, but these are questions about what have you understood. Now the first of them is, which train is delayed? The name of the train is given. So can you remember from your reading, from your listening and watching the script on your screen, which train it is? I'm sure you remember Superfast Express. That was the name of the train which got late, Superfast Express. Now the next question is, how much was it delayed? What was the time which, it was coming later than expected? It was delayed by half an hour. 30 minutes also you can say, instead of saying half an hour. So those are the two factual questions which I wanted to ask because we don't have much time. But like this, if you look at every part of the conversation and ask yourself questions, for the beginners only practicing, repeating, but for the thinkers, that is, people who have already got some fluency, think of your correctness, think of your ability to understand everything, every word, every nuance you should understand. Pronunciation, vocabulary, grammar, spelling, punctuation, all the things you can see when the script comes on your screen. If you just listen to the meaning, you are not learning English. Please remember, the meaning can be expressed in any language. But what we are interested here is we are interested in learning English. Let's move to the next one, at the airport. Conversation titled, At the Airport. An elderly lady. Are you waiting for a flight to Amritsar? Where is gate number 101? Young software professional. No, I am going to Jaipur. My gate is 105. It must be close to 101. Elderly lady. Then I will go with you if you don't mind. Software professional. You are welcome. But first, we have to proceed to security check. Only after that can we move towards our gate. Elderly lady says, that's quite a long walk with my heavy bag. We are not allowed a trolley, I'm told. Young software professional. Please allow me to help you. I have nothing except my laptop to carry. Elderly lady. That's very nice of you. Thank you. Here are few factual questions based on the conversation you heard, and that is at the airport. Now, the first question is, are the two people going? There are two people in the conversation you saw. One is an elderly lady and the other is a young girl software professional. So the elderly lady is going to Amritsar and the young girl is going to Jaipur. Now the next question is, which gate is the old lady want to go to? The gate number is 101. And what about the gate of the young girl? Hers is 105. Therefore, she says 101 and 105 must be very close to each other. Who has a heavy bag? The old lady has a heavy bag. Then we have, why does the young girl offer to help the old lady? There might be two reasons. One is because she is older, she might offer to help. The other reason, which is given to you in the conversation, is because she has only the laptop bag. She has nothing else. So she says, I can carry your bag. But it's also possible, and that is the inference you have to make, that because she's an old lady, this young girl is offering to help. She's a nice person. Then you have, where do they have to go first? That is what the girl says. First, we have to go to security check. Security check is where they check your bag and your whole body is scanned. That is the security check. And then, of course, where will they go after that? After that, they can go to the gate. Only after security check can they go to the gate. So these are the 7 questions which you can, answer after listening to that conversation. It is quite possible that some of the words in the conversation were difficult for you. Or it is possible that you can think of other ways of expressing. I've showed you 3 different things here. In the first conversation, I have shown you how to reconstruct the sentences. In the second conversation, I've picked out some difficult words and gave you the meanings of these words. Then, the same thing you can do for this conversation also. Here I gave you all factual questions. In this way, if you keep trying, you become better. So please watch these videos carefully. There are many videos on conversation already which you can look through and keep practicing. That is important. A mechanical oral practice is only for beginners. A more thinking practice, a more evaluative practice is for better learners, learners who are at a higher level. Somebody saw a video for beginners and said, give us videos for advanced level. Even beginners' videos can be used by advanced learners. There is no bar. But in the channel, I have tried to give you videos which pertain to people who don't know any English, to people who are studying English, who are teaching English. All levels are available. But you cannot get them unless you look through the podcasts, the playlists, the entire list of 150 videos. When you have free time, look at it, make a list, as I told you, priority. Make a priority list and watch those videos. Otherwise, you will not be able to get the videos. The videos get lost. YouTube has millions of videos. Where will you find these videos unless you search? So, all my hard work pays off when you work hard and you learn English. So please do it, please search and then watch as many videos as will help you to learn better English. Thank you and all the best.